Boom. Live again. What's up, everybody? Schultzy here. Jaguars Uncovered, brought to you by the Undroppables Network. I've got a guest today, but not actually a guest. That's right. My new co-host, Josh Collier. What's going on, my man? Longtime Twitter friend. We shot a lot of shit on Twitter. I'm super pumped to have you joining me on this journey here. What is going on?
Yeah, man, how we doing? What's going on? Like you said, been shooting it for a while on Jack's Twitter, so it's good to get this opportunity to put some of those takes on air.
Yeah, I'm like I said, you mentioned it, and I already said I'm very excited to have you. You are a hashtag confirmed ball knower, and I love fantasy. I obviously am a big fantasy guy, and you're not at all. So I love that we have that there, and you are more of like real football side of things than I am. So yeah, hashtag ball knower. With that being said, we're gonna jump right into things. Let's go. Alrighty. Love that intro video. Dude, we're back. Football's back at the bank. Preseason, I don't care. It's still a very special time. And we finally got a taste of some football that's not against the Jaguars themselves in a preseason game week 1 against the Chiefs. How did it feel, dude?
Dude, it was awesome. Love getting some Jack's ball back. Love getting those feelings of anxiousness and just waiting for something to happen. But it was awesome to see football back at the bank.
I love that we are at a point as a franchise where preseason is like pretty chill now. Like we get some positional battles. There are obviously storylines, but it's not as dire as please complete a slant pass.
Yeah, it was crazy. Just thinking about the depth too. It's pretty crazy where we're at right now. Like instead of guys we know we're never going to hear about, we're like, oh, these are legit guys now in the third quarter.
Very good point. With football being back at the bank, hopefully someday somebody beats Cade to the slab for tailgating, but I'm not counting on it. We're going to get into the game. First thing I wrote down was special teams, man. We had that big old Parker Washington return. And also they led the NFL this week. I know it's preseason, but in starting field position, they started on an average of their own, 44, I think. And
yeah,
I think,
right around that.
Second place Commanders were like 36 or something. So it was pretty sizable jump. I know the Parker Washington return helped a ton, but man, that was a good start for the special teams unit.
Yeah, I think teach tape, how people talk about teach tape. I think the Jags game was that perfect teach tape for the new kickoff rule because we had big returns, and then we also had the safety incident where Casey misplayed the kickoff. So that was another one. It's like that was a pretty cool like showing from the Jags to be that team where you get to see all aspects of that new kickoff.
I can't believe I forgot about that. And I want to say I'm surprised, but I'm not at all that the NFL didn't. It feels like they didn't have that scenario written down and talked about.
Yeah, I think they just assumed everybody would run it out if it was that close. But
yeah, nope. Like oh shit, like see, like SpongeBob brain like gif going on. Everybody's running around the place on fire. Yeah, that was pretty funny. And Doug's like, you can see Doug's clearly like I don't understand the confusion here. What's happening? I know big props of Parker Washington. He made some huge moves there. It wasn't even like a schematic thing. Like he got into that crowd, made a couple jumps, and took off. That was really nice to see.
That was stuff you didn't see last year either. When he was returning,
no, not at all.
You didn't get that, and it was pretty cool to see that this year.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see how him and I'm sure we'll get. Well, if it'll be him and Duvernay or him and Robinson, or if it'll be Duvernay and Robinson. But at this point, how do you not put Washington back there?
Yeah, I think you have to at some point until he proves he can't handle it.
Right.
Something like that. He got 2 good returns.
What was your first takeaway on Trevor and I guess the starting offense as a whole?
You kind of touched on it earlier where it's like you no longer have to worry about just completing a slant. So it was nice to see them. They got that good field position and they turned it into a touchdown. So even though Chris Jones and some Chiefs linebackers weren't playing, it was good to see them at least scheme up a touchdown. Something we haven't seen recently.
Really beautiful play design too to completely clear the middle of the field out, just take advantage of ETN's speed.
Right, isolate him on a linebacker. There's not going to be a lot who are going to be able to hang with him.
So shout out to Press on that one.
On that angle route space. Yeah, he just had to go on the sideline.
Well, I thought it was fine overall. I mean, Trevor took some flack on the 4th down sack. Sack. Sorry, everyone said he should have thrown it. I like that he kind of laughed it off because it's preseason.
Yeah,
and 2,
I don't think he takes that sack season.
Right, and if you look at it, if there's a world where he tries to make that throw and gets sack fumbled, and then now everybody's yelling at him for fumbling in the preseason, which would be a bigger catastrophe at this point.
Correct. Yeah, absolutely. He was in a no-win there. I mean, there was Kurt Benkert and Kurt Warner going back and forth on if he should have thrown the corner or the China route to Ingram coming across the middle. He's looking at the go ball, which was funny when Gus Loeb pointed that out. So it's just cool to see him try some stuff. This is the time to do it. Who cares?
Right. Yeah, I didn't think anything of it. It's whatever. Like, we will talk some Brian Thomas. How about his debut? I mean, obviously we saw the one catch. Before that, he had a target on a comeback. Was that from Beathard, I think?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah, Beathard peppered him.
Yeah, he did. I couldn't remember if he got a target from Trevor. I don't think so.
No, I don't think he got one from Trevor, but it was nice. We saw what his role is going to be. That little go ball that Beathard threw. I mean, that's what he's going to be, at least early on, we think. He's going to be running corners out, running safeties out. He even did that on that 4th down sack. He's running the corner and the safety out of there. So, overall, I mean, I wanted a bomb. I tweeted that out. Like, just give me one BTJ.
Yeah, right. Give the people what we want.
Yeah. So he was fine. We know what he's going to be this first year. So.
Okay, I'm tweeting right now with a link we're live. So go tell the people. I'll tag you. Maybe some people will join us. There you go. Boom. Tweet sent. Okay. I'm just happy that Brian Thomas didn't have a performance that made us talking the other direction, and asking questions. Like, we've had too much of that in Jacksonville, of drafting a guy and then talking about him in the preseason and stuff, especially after the somewhat quiet camp he had. If he had come out and had a game where he, I don't know, dropped a pass or just didn't get open, whatever, and we were sitting here talking about we got question marks already. At least we're not there. But what a freaking play by him though, because we'll get into more on this in a bit, but Beathard underthrew the shit out of that, man. Yeah.
And I think that was something I liked seeing, because that was one thing I was worried about with him, because he's 6'4", but he's barely 200. So It's do we have another DJ Chark where he can't fight through that contact? So it was cool to see him have to physically fight through that corner, come back and get that ball.
That's a good point about
a little bit of concerns.
That's a good call there. And he fought through the contact, made a great adjustment, played it low, tracked the ball, everything you want to see from him. Because, he can burn people. There's obviously zero question there, right?
Yep.
Good call on that. I love that. Offensive line wasn't great, but we were still missing 2 starters. What can you do there? They need time to gel, and I'm just not surprised at all by what the offensive line looked like at this point. They don't get a ton of reps in full contact. It's going to take a little bit of time. But also, like I mentioned, the 2 starters missing, and the one note I had was just Blake Hance LOL. There was a play where he was just laying on his face.
Yeah. Yeah, the line is I think that's going to be something we're going to be frustrated with all year. We just need him to be average. Like, I don't think any of us should expect a top 15 line. But I think we can get in that 15 to 20 range. I think we'll be all right. Just some push up front help the run game.
Yeah, and exactly. They just have to be fine. That's it.
Yep.
I was talking to Shipley last episode, and I asked him about Mitch Morse and about like, hey, it just felt like there were a couple plays a game last year where the offensive line just like didn't have their shit together, no matter how you want to slice it. Where they didn't, I don't know if it was miscommunication or if they were just getting the wrong call or what, but like there was a few plays a game where it would just be completely blown up from the start because of the offensive line.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm wondering if just Mitch Morse alone can help straighten that out. Sure hope so, because even if he does, like, you know, that's a huge difference. But yeah, I just there's no other way to put it. They're gonna get better, I think. I don't think they're gonna be that bad again. And yeah, they don't have to be great. Just be fine. This is a fun one. Tank Bigsby. What were your thoughts on Tank?
I think Tank was awesome. The Tank that we saw was, I think, the Tank we thought we were going to get last year, where he did some dirty work between the tackles, but you could see he could still bust one on that long run he had, 19 yards. He got between the tackles, got to the second level, and was gone before he got hit. So
the vision was nice on that one, too.
Yeah, I think that's what we wanted to see last year. He just got super unlucky, and it seems like that hit him again on practice on Monday, but we'll ignore that. In the game, it was fine. Just don't throw many passes, I guess.
It was just, does that not encapsulate the Tank Bigsby experience by having that game and then turning around and seeing that tweet?
Yeah. Hits off the hands and it's intercepted. It's like, whoa. Tank.
My God. But yeah, you hit it there. I mean, he was good, man. That one run, he showed explosiveness out of the hole, vision to find it. Yeah, I was really impressed. And in the fantasy world, Tank gets talked about a lot as chipping away like a good amount of ETN. I'm never going to buy that. No. ETN has obviously missed the first year, but he's played 17 games both seasons since, and they want to feed him. Like, and he forces missed tackles. Like, he's got the speed this offense wants. They're not just going to take him off the field just to put Tank in all, you know, for 35% of the snaps. Like, I don't see that happening. He'll be out there some, but I don't think ETN's going anywhere.
Yeah, I think people are looking at Tank as like how Doug used LeGarrette Blount in Philly, where he was kind of like that battering ram, like Jamal Williams, the vulture on the one. But I don't think there's been anything that's shown that Doug's willing to do that to ETN. I think he still likes using ETN with the high usage.
Right. I think that about hits me. Oh, no, I got one other offensive player I wanted to bring up, but he's later. How about some Jalen Jackson, man? I know it's one preseason game. I'm looking forward to seeing more out of this guy. I think he's got a real shot to make this squad. I think it's tough, but I think he's got a shot. So decisive and quick. Yeah, I was really impressed with him. And then it's just strong, too. He was able to, you know, go through defenders.
Yeah.
I really liked him.
I think his spot is going to come down to Trent's ego, essentially, because he used a draft pick on Robinson, and you have to assume it's between Robinson and Jackson because they already paid Dearness, and then we have Tank and ETN aren't going anywhere, so you're not going to carry five guys.
I think you're probably right ultimately. So hopefully he can find the practice squad, and they're not ditching Robinson because he's going to be a kick returner. I mean, yeah, you don't spend a 5th round pick on a guy to do that, to not have him back there returning kicks.
Yeah,
but yeah, hopefully
they can out at his press conference. You're like, okay, this guy's got to stay. Right.
Hopefully they can find Jackson on the practice squad because, dude, he's got juice. I liked him. We'll slip it to defense here. First guy I wrote down, Christian Braswell, man. I don't know what else to say. Like, the dude was all over the field. Like,
Yeah.
and then he had the one play, well, obviously big play, the strip that didn't get called, but like to slip and fall on your route to then get up and recover to make that play. I mean, whew.
Yeah, I think that's I think it may have been Ship who mentioned it. Like that's that never stop mentality that Nielsen's kind of preaching. Like he lost the rep, but he never quit, and then he ended up winning it in the end. Like that's the
Right.
attitude that like we haven't had in Jacksonville in a long time. It was you got punched in the mouth and you were done. Now it's like we're gonna punch you right back.
Damn it, you're so right though. It was just an impressive game for him, and I look forward to him being good depth, man. We haven't had cornerback depth here either. Like,
yeah, he makes that last couple spots interesting because he was a bubble guy, but I think he's absolutely killing it.
Yeah, and I didn't write this one down, but same with DeAndre Prince.
Yep.
I mean, he showed out too. We'll talk about corner battle in a little bit, I guess. But man, he looked really good too. How about some D-line push overall? It was pretty good in the beginning edgewise, but like into the third, I noticed it in the third quarter a lot. Like just the entire line was just getting push after push after push. And once again, depth we have not seen here, man.
Yeah, we're getting those like edge 3, edge 4 guys. We're getting some quality like Travis Gibson was awesome all game. And that's like we had 45 here for 4 years and it was nothing. So Travis Gibson looked like a superstar. And he was good. And like you said, the depth is just amazing at this point.
Yeah, it's incredible. We just legit haven't had this much team depth, I feel like, in a long time.
Right, yeah. As much as we hate he built at least a decent depth.
I know. Hey, you know what? In the last year, like calendar year, yeah, you got. I mean, he's got to at least get some credit.
Yeah, he gets a little bouquet.
And then here we go. Do you think Breland Speaks makes the team?
I do. If he would have like showed up and then didn't do anything, okay, this is a camp body. But he like showed up and you could feel the impact that he made in that game.
He definitely popped. I'm a DFS degenerate, so I would always play some UFL DFS tournaments.
Oh,
because one, it's football.
Yeah.
And you know what? The product this year was actually pretty good. It was hands down the best spring football they've done.
Yeah.
And dude, there was times where Breland Speaks straight up took games over himself. And at the time, I remember being like, dude, this dude's going to find himself on an NFL roster. And then I was like, there's no way it's going to be us because, you know, we're pretty decent at edge depth. And then it's funny. Here we are.
Yeah, it's pretty cool having it's a team that drafted him too. Flamed out with the Chiefs.
Oh, shit, really? I didn't even put that together.
Brett Veach, that was his first ever draft pick, was Breland Speaks in the second round.
Wow. Look at you. That's awesome. And then the last guy I wrote down was Miles Cole, another dude who made himself known.
Yep.
That's just like presence felt, had some nice run stops. There was one that he broke around the left tackle, and I just made an impact on a running play that you could just tell the length was the big reason. And that's why Trent Baalke jerks off to length, man.
Yeah, that was his alien. He took him in the 7th round, and it showed up.
That's another dude I think is going to squeeze on the roster. I don't think he clears waivers. There's too many, like the traits. No. The traits have always been there, and now he's popped on preseason film, and he's got 2 more games to do it. I don't think he clears waivers. All right, we're gonna call this our little film segment. It's not much of a film segment. We're doing our best here, but we'll check it out. Got a couple of pictures we can show first. Hopefully this segment can grow more. You know, I want to get some access to all 22, maybe cut up some plays myself. But right now I'm stealing things from people. Shout out to Jay Villains Pod on Twitter. That's where I got this stuff from. and he told me I could use it. So real MVP there. Okay, share screen. We're going to take a look at this one right here. I have circled Gabe Davis. He's about to break free right behind number 54, I think that is, right here, where Trev hits him for what ended up being like a 20-yard completion. What are your thoughts on this play? What did you like?
So this was the perfect encapsulation of one of the arguments we had last year when the 49ers came in town about the one read and he's off of it. If you watch this play in full, he works left to right all the way. So he's clearly going through the full progression. And then to hit the backside dig was just awesome with the dude right in his face. With the video keeps going, he gets hit as soon as he lets this thing go. It was just gorgeous.
Oh, dude, this is what I'm talking about. This is why I'm happy to have you here. You can talk film like this kind of stuff better than I can. And that's awesome. That's why I want to get some more clips. And you're right about this. This is not a first read, man. Like, look, Gabe Davis is 11 yards into this cut already, and Trev's just now hitting him. People are saying he could have hit Thomas down here, breaking down into this, cover 2 hole. Even I don't know if they're actually in a true cover 2, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah. Right in the honey hole. But this corner is trailing on him.
He's diving hard.
Man. Yeah, not a chance he can make that throw. He knows it. And
this is third down. Like, people have to keep that in context.
Oh, no, it's not. It's first.
Oh, it was first? I thought this was a third down throw. That's my bad.
No, you're good. But still, he patient enough. And then I should have grabbed the picture from the end zone angle. But that's the one where when he lets go of the ball, Davis is still behind this line. It's just a perfect throw to hit Davis in stride.
Yeah.
Love that for Trevor. We'll get this other one up here. This is another one. We're going to have some fun with Ryan Nielsen here. Another shout out here to Jay Villains, because I didn't catch this during the game. We got a 4-1-6 alignment here on defense. Can't say I've ever seen that one here, but I love it. Like, just making it different, making things weird, making it hard on the quarterback.
Yeah, that's the one thing that they did really good in Atlanta, and it looks like he's bringing it. Here's just that weird picture, making the QB not know what's going to happen here. Like, how you going to line up 6 DBs, where they're going to run to, stuff like that. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and the way they're kind of triangled out here, like, I'm no film expert, but if I was playing like college football or whatever, or Madden or something, and they popped that on me, I'd be like, what the fuck is this? Like, what am I supposed to do?
Maybe cover 4, if that. I don't know. But you could really do anything out here.
Yeah, you're right. And then you've got the athleticism in the smaller defensive backs, kind of at those pseudo linebacker spots flying around. You could probably get ran on pretty hard here, but other than that, I like it. Okay, we got actual clips here I can show. First one we're going to do is going to be, let's just do Brian Thomas. Sorry to talk about him. Talk us through this one. What do you got for me here? I'm gonna restart for you.
So this is like I talked about earlier, where we got some of those concerns, where he was able to work back through that DB there in order to catch that. I mean, we love seeing that, especially from a dude who's not known as a physical guy. Hey, run it off and be able to bully back in there. Love to see it.
Yeah, we're gonna get
also the underthrow kind of helped here. I don't know if he's led, that safety might be taking his head off. So I wonder.
Let's see. Don't tell him you're not going to say he did it on purpose. That's not true.
No, I don't think he did it on purpose at all. I'm saying it's probably a good thing though that Beathard is not Trevor in that scenario.
Okay, we'll take.
But I love seeing it, man. Fighting through that contact is awesome.
Right.
And everybody so hyped for him was cool.
Right, because you can tell he had his dude beat.
Yeah.
No doubts. he fights through it. I'm glad they didn't throw the flag here. One of my biggest pet peeves is the defensive pass interference on an underthrown ball. Like, what is the defender supposed to do? You know what I mean? Like,
rewarding
the
a bad
pass is going to
quarterback.
land like on his head. What is he supposed to do? So I'm glad they didn't throw the flag. But yeah, you talk about fighting through the contact, the ball tracking, and then making the adjustment, because it wasn't just underthrown to where he like had to kind of stay. It was underthrown where he had to go low for it too. So just great like in-air adjustment from Thomas.
Yeah, I think he used one hand to bring that in.
Oh, we're about to find out, huh? I mean, he kind of corralled it with
it looks like he
one, and then
brings
it
it in with his
shifted over
left
to
and
the
pushes
other.
to the right.
So yeah, love that.
That's it's a good first catch to have.
Yeah, you're not wrong. We were shooting it before we jumped on here about how like it was just good to take that little ease off there, man. Getting that, I don't know, just a little anxiety out of there. Like, hey, this guy he can make the big play we need from him.
Yeah.
Next one here, we're gonna talk. Oh shit, there goes my camera. We're back. Wrong button. We're gonna go to the Yasir Abdullah sack. So this one, before I play it, I think the thing I liked here was just the defensive line push overall. I mean, this is a team effort. They have multiple shots at Carson Wentz here. Carson Wentz is pulling some Mahomes stuff, because like my initial thought was like, damn, Mahomes a magician back there, and then I realized no, that was Wentz. I mean, he still got sacked in the end, but like he does a damn good job. He could have gotten sacked 3 times here. Abdullah finishes him off, but you've got Trayvon, Josh, Hamilton, and Roy, right? It's the starting 4.
Yeah.
And then Abdullah playing Sam here. Instant push right up the middle from the outside. He dodges 1, dodges 2. It skips here, but you're going to see it in the end zone shot. Abdullah gets the cleanup off of, I mean, this is an effort sack, but he gets good push off the start too. I mean, he's on the right tackle. He has a pretty good rush, just stays in it. While this is a total team effort, total team push. This is the kind of shit I expect to see from the D-line this year.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And you saw some cool loops in there. You saw Trayvon bash that guard and loop back inside. He caused that initial pressure there, which is what you want to see. He wasn't able to do that standing up, so it's pretty cool to see. Well, he didn't do it a lot, I should say.
Actually, I think him and Josh both looped in.
Yeah, so that was a pretty cool little concept there by the line. And then Abdullah just all effort, chasing that down backside.
Yeah, Trayvon and Josh loop in here. And then, yeah, Josh almost gets him from the back. Yeah, this is an awesome play. And I think I think Nielsen's going to unlock some stuff from Abdullah we weren't able to see before.
I'm interested to see him off ball and how they use him in that area. But, yeah, it'll be fun.
Okay, so I got one more clip here. This is a kickoff, not Parker Washington's. Do you know which one I'm about to put up?
Is this going to be Tanks?
No. All right, great. So we got this is a Jags kicking off to Chiefs. This is a coverage one here. Okay, let me get it. We are looking. Can you see my mouse on the screen? I don't think so. Right at the 25-yard line, near the top of the screen, he's on a defender right now. You're looking at Ventrell Miller with a club hand. Lights the shit up out of this guy.
Oh, man.
4th from the left. So, I love that from him. He made a couple plays like in the run game too. He had a good showing, especially with the club, you know?
Yeah. It's good to see him back out there. Missing all last year.
Yeah, he's a dude that I'm sure I clowned the shit out of that pick. Another
Oh
linebacker
yeah,
when it happened.
especially coming from Florida, you're like, of course, Jags take a Florida guy. So
Yeah.
it was all there.
But God, if he stays healthy, yeah, we got a player there. Let's run it one more time, just because. Boom!
Hey, he lifted him off the ground.
Oh yeah, he got hang time. We'll admire a bomb from Cam Little.
Dude, he's good.
There he goes. All right, cool. Let me get this other overlay back up for us. All right, got us back up. Keep it going here. All right, so we're going to go back to practice, man, but we've got the joint practice with the Bucs coming up. And I am a big fan of joint practices. I don't know about you. You get more reps than a preseason game. A lot of times they're like more meaningful for the starters, that is. You get to do all the the special circumstance stuff you want that you can't like fabricate that in a preseason game, like red zone, 2-minute drill, that kind of crap. Circumstantial things. So we got tomorrow. Is it just two practices, I think, with them?
Yeah, I think it's Wednesday and Thursday.
Okay. But yeah, I'm really excited. So I thought we could mention one just position battle, Jags versus Bucs thing we each thought would be interesting. The one I chose was the Bucs wide receivers versus the Jags corners. I don't know if Tyson's going to be practicing yet. If he's not like totally ready, don't do it. It's not worth it. But if he's out there, it'll be fun to watch him against Mike Evans. Gonna see Savage in the slot probably on Godwin. Godwin's moving back to the slot full time, so that'll be a good battle. But then that leaves that outside spot with either Darby or Jarrian Jones, probably Darby, and on against Jalen McMillan, who's getting some camp hype. I don't know. I just think these two groups we're gonna learn a lot from the Jags corners this week, because this is a good test between especially Godwin and Evans, but this is a group I'm looking forward to watching this week.
Yeah, I mean, Mike Evans is a Hall of Famer. You can't get any better practicing against a guy like that. And then Godwin, he's one of the best slots in the league, and he's one of those bigger slots, so it's not like he's small. So being able Savage getting in that spot and working against him, and hopefully Jones also gets some slot work. But yeah, I mean, those two guys alone is going to be such good experience for these corners. Darby's been there, done that, but the other guys are super young.
Right. And in a way, and I mean, I don't hope Tyson Campbell misses any time, any additional time, but if he does, that's just more reps for Jones. I mean,
yep, absolutely. Yeah. It sucks seeing Tyson out, but these young guys are getting valuable reps.
Right. Exactly. It's not a good thing, but there is a positive you can glean from it, I guess. How about you? What are you looking for here?
I'm looking at our interior O-line versus the Bucs, two big nasties, Vita Vea and Kalijah Kancey. They're both two very different guys. Vita Vea is obviously your nose tackle, plug stuffer, run stuffer, everything. So he's going to be awesome to see how they handle him. And then Kancey, he's undersized, but he's a good pass rusher from there. So especially the left guard and Mitch Morse, how they interact with those two guys is going to be huge in my opinion.
Yeah, I think, this is a good call, especially going for saying interior as opposed to O-line in general.
Yeah.
I mean, O-line in general is a solid, that's a solid argument there, but specifically sticking in the middle against Vita Vea, I mean, that dude's a game wrecker. And after last year, it's just like you almost would expect for the practice reports to just be like him kicking the shit out of us. So hopefully that doesn't happen.
Hope not.
Is Ezra gonna be back?
I don't know. I haven't seen anything on him recently. I'm just kind of assuming he's not.
Same.
Nice to get that, but yeah, I assume he's not going to be there.
I didn't. I should have looked. I didn't look at the practice report today. Other than that, I think obviously everybody is going to be watching Trevor as long as he just doesn't have a day where they just completely the ball's hitting the ground a lot, throws multiple picks, they look out of sync. As long as you avoid that, it's whatever. You know what I mean? Like I'm not
Right.
anything other than a catastrophe is fine. But
Ezra Cleveland is limited right now, by the way.
Okay. So he'll probably get like side work, I'm sure, during these. Which means we're probably gonna get a handful of Blake Hance at left guard again. So woohoo.
Blake Hance and Cooper.
Hey, Cooper's at least shown some stuff here. I think he's got a chance to be a contributor, but man, I'm out on Blake Hance at this point. I'll be intrigued to watch Brian Thomas, or I guess to read about Brian Thomas, see some clips and stuff. But he's going to get a ton of reps first, probably some like press coverage, some real live game reps. And this is what we need to see out of him. Can he beat the press? Can the press man coverages? Can he get those quick releases? Gus Logue put up a clip of him. He said, "This is how you get a quick release or whatever," and it was him on like a drag or something. It wasn't like anything crazy, but you could tell like, I would say once he like got that horizontal step, it was kind of over already. And then there was one clip, I don't even know who posted it. Someone just posted a sideline, or not a sideline, but like from the stands video of his long catch. Mm-hmm. And when you see his speed in that context, like not like a TV broadcast, I was like, oh, damn.
Yeah. That speed's no joke.
Yeah, if I can get to a game this year, I'm excited to see that. So yeah, Brian Thomas is my other big one I'm going to be watching out for. How about you? You got anything else there?
One thing I like with the Bucs, which I don't know how deep they get in training camp practices, but Todd Bowles has a funky defense, and he likes to throw funky coverages and everything out there between zone blitzing and droppers and everything. Like last year, there was a game where Vita Vea drops in the short zone. I'm just like, so he does stuff like that. So I want to see how the offense reacts and how they communicate with all that with the new pieces, because you're going to get some cool looks from Todd Bowles.
Hey, dude, could you imagine if like the 2017 Jags were dropping Marcel Darius into a short zone?
Yeah, just devious stuff, man. Insane.
I love that. Okay, one more, I guess, segment here. We're going to do some roster battle predictions. All right, hey, we got a comment from Chris Sanders. I'm going to pull this up here. He says, Brian Thomas Jr. is a dog. You guys got you one. You know what, Chris? I hope you are 100% right. As time has gone on, I'm warming up, man. I was a downer when we first drafted the guy. I'm coming around. Big part is I don't think they're going to try and turn him into some X receiver like a Jamar Chase or some shit. Like they're going to use him and how he's good and and that's going to fit in well with what they're trying to do overall on offense. So yeah, I'm warming up. I guess he could have caught a long touchdown and scored, or like he could have done a little more, but what more could you really have asked for him out of Saturday night?
Right. Matt Harmon, who does reception perception, always puts out like the success rate and stuff for receivers and their route trees and everything. And he posted Brian Thomas's coming up to the draft. I put them side by side. I'd have to go back and find the tweet, but the way that he was used at LSU and what he was successful at conveniently lined up to how the Jags used Calvin Ridley last year. Now, Obviously Ridley was miscast in that role, but if they use Brian Thomas in a similar fashion, I don't think it'd be too ridiculous to think he should have moderate success.
Right. And that was my biggest thing. They totally square peg round hold Ridley.
Yep.
And when they drafted Thomas, I thought they were going to do the exact same thing, but the other direction, where they were going to try and make him a Jamar Chase or something, or a CeeDee Lamb. But they're wising up and they're using him properly, so I love it. We'll jump into some roster battles. We only jumped on to 3 here. Number 1, we're going to talk QB2. I don't know how it's not Mac at this point. I think when they trade for him, that's what they wanted. Like, you don't give up a 5th rounder for a camp body to cut. I have more trust in him. Like, if Trevor were to go down, I would have more trust in Mac than I do in Beathard at this point. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I would too. We've seen the high quality stuff. No matter how bad it got in New England, he still had decent with the supporting cast around him.
Right, exactly. And I think that the offensive talent is good enough to float Mac Jones enough. Like, obviously, if Trev goes down for 6 weeks, we're probably screwed. But a couple games.
Last year,
I think Mac Jones could keep the ship afloat there. And I think at this point, like, he looked pretty good too Saturday night. I know he played after Beathard. I would assume they'll flip roles this.
Yeah, they got him as QB2 on the depth chart this week. So I don't know if that's like a permanent move or they're switching them on and off to get them different kinds of reps. But right now, it looks like they moved him to QB2.
And how about Mac Jones, the new Mac Jones, man? Holy crap!
I hate that I love him.
I know, right?
He's so fun. Like, this is the kid you didn't get to see at Alabama and
yeah. Could you
New England?
Could you have a worse combo of head coaches for like having no fun?
Yeah, it's terrible.
I don't think so.
Obviously, you're gonna win, but whew,
right. But at what cost?
Yeah.
Another one here, last wide receiver spot. I think I'm starting to lean Elijah Cooks. I was buying the Josh Cephas hype at first because he was showing out in OTAs and stuff. He's gone pretty damn quiet, and he had a drop Saturday night, didn't he?
Yeah.
I thought so. So I'm cooling off on him a little bit. The reason I was kind of lower on Cooks was like one of the appeals he had last offseason was that like he had size and we had none. So like you get the red zone, you hopefully could utilize that or a critical 3rd down or whatever. Now he didn't play many snaps, but he at least brought something that the receiving group didn't have.
Right.
But then they got Brian Thomas, Gabe Davis. So I kind of thought maybe Cooks would probably be on his way out, but he's kind of playing his way in.
Yeah, I was the same. I was thinking Cephas would take over that spot, but Cooks is because I thought you know what Cooks is at this point, and Cephas, you don't know if you can keep him on the practice squad. But even in the first game, Cooks had a couple catches, and then he just blocks his ass off when they ask him.
You're not wrong there, and that's huge. And talking to Shipley, he and I both thought that Tim Jones is on just because of special teams. He's been here, he's trusted. Plays good special teams, and if he has to take some wide receiver reps, like he can do it. Like he's not a complete liability, and so I think he's on as well. But they could keep 7 again this year. It could be crazy. And then lastly is this last cornerback spot. Obviously you're looking at Tyson, Darby, Savage, Jerry, Jones. How many overall do you think they're going to keep?
I think we're going to be around 6 or 7. Buster Brown, I think, obviously makes the team. Braswell's made a name for himself. And then, Prince, again, you mentioned it earlier, he's kind of shown out too between camp and then the game. So I think Gregory Jr. getting released kind of helped this one. Like I think everybody was wondering about that one.
I think you're looking at 2 out of those 3 guys you mentioned between Braswell, Brown, and Prince.
I think Brown would be the odd man out if it came down to it.
I kind of am leaning that way now, unless he kind of plays his way back in.
Yeah.
But he's kind of the same thing as like what you got in him, and they obviously like Braswell, and I think he's a lock at this point. But yeah, Prince popped the other night, so I think that's an intriguing one. Got any other roster things at this point before we get out of here?
I don't think so. I think we touched on a lot of stuff. The D tackle room's actually kind of deep. Roy catches himself playing in the 3rd quarter of a preseason game. I think
Forgot to bring
Run
that
into
up.
some
Yeah.
stuff there. This is a guy we paid last offseason.
I know, right? So weird. What a roller coaster ride for Roy. Okay, I'm going to get this overlay back on here. I'm going to bring up our MVP of the week. And this week, it is the home field advantage Jacksonville Jaguars crowd 12th man experience. Shout out.
J-Nubs.
Yeah, say shout out to J-Nubs here for trolling the shit out of these Chiefs fans. First of all, for yelling, making fun of Harrison Butker when he comes on the field, that's just fair game. Okay, you got to take that one.
Yeah,
but
they're gonna get that everywhere.
Now, I can only imagine there was more than Butker talk, but what a great picture we got here. Chiefs are playing like shit, and these Jags fans are assholes. I love it.
Fantastic. You gotta darken that screen if you're gonna talk shit.
I know, right? Do a better job, my God. All right, man. I think that wraps us up here. I'm super glad you're going to be on this ride with me. Thanks for joining me tonight. And
Absolutely.
I can't wait for this. You got anything else to plug?
I don't, man. I think we're can't wait to get us started on this journey. Let's end this thing with a Duval.
Duval. It's nighttime. I can't do it very loud.
Yeah, same. I feel weird saying it from Ohio sometimes.
I know, right? It's all good. But anyways, we will catch you next week. Go ahead and subscribe. Like, comment, subscribe. Like this video if you're watching. That is what helps us out the most is a like. Hit that little thumbs up. And like I said, give us a subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at Schultzy, SCHU1TZY. You're goddamn right we can win the division, Chris.
Absolutely. Don't get me started on that one. That would be hard to say.
But for real, thanks for joining Chris and giving us some comments. I do think they can. Trev is going to have his bounce back. Ryan Nielsen's going to have this defense in shape. And they're going to be getting cheered on by a bunch of assholes. And with that, good night.